Hi, everybody. Welcome again to another Low on Health Rambling. Today is September 5th, 2010. It's about 10:26 a.m., a very early morning one, just kind of banging to get this one out of the way. It is, of course, Labor Day weekend, and I do have tomorrow off, which is Monday. And I'm actually just kind of spending the weekend inside, not really doing much. The last past 4 or 5 weekends, I've been kind of going out and doing stuff, and didn't really feel like doing that this weekend. Just want to kind of sit inside and relax. There was something that was going on last night that I could have gone to, but decided not to. But what I want to do real quick is kind of touch upon some of the things I've been doing recently, some movie stuff and whatnot. And as before I get to the movies I've watched recently, I do want to mention Scott Pilgrim. I did mention last week that some of the people I talked to last weekend wanted to go see it because I hadn't seen it yet, and we keep talking good things about it. But what eventually ended up happening is that when they looked to see where it was playing this weekend, it wasn't. Basically, it's been dropped out of a lot of the theaters that have like 12 and under, 20 and under. The only places really playing it are kind of like in the heart of Tampa type stuff, in which case a lot of them are South St. Pete, Largo, and they couldn't make it out that far or whatnot. So it's sad to see Scott Pilgrim really only had like 3 weeks at the box office. Luckily, I've seen it 4 weekends in a row because of that advanced screening, thanks to Jeff's sister Patty. But it's kind of sad. I mean, basically, looking at the numbers, I think the movie cost about $60 million to make, and it's only brought in maybe 33, 35 internationally, like with all territories considered. So hopefully it'll make its money back in Blu-rays and whatnot. It'll be fine. It's just one of the people at the luncheon mentioned that maybe it was too hip for them. Maybe like it's just the older comic book video game crowd maybe just couldn't get into it because maybe it was more geared to the younger crowd. But who knows? I really enjoyed the movie, and it's just kind of sad to see that happen. But hey, what you gonna do? It's still a movie I enjoyed immensely. I recommend people go to see it if you're into the video game vibe. And then if not, it's still just a good, solid movie. But let me move on to movies that I've watched also recently. First off, I'm going to mention Clash of the Titans. I basically watched this, which I guess is the remake of the old film, and of course I've never seen the old film whatsoever, so I basically was kind of bored. I was like, hey, I want to watch Clash of the Titans, so I basically kind of just watched this movie. Once I realized the Avatar guy, the main character actor in Avatar, is also the main character in this, I was like, I really don't like that actor that much, so it kind of put me off of the movie, but I still liked it for the creature effects and just kind of like the basic, effects and alone, like just like the characters and whatnot. Was really cool. Worth not the greatest movie in the world, but worth just a good watch. Just kind of if you were in the mood to watch a movie, definitely give Clash of the Titans a watch. I didn't watch it in 3D, which I guess was the big should-do. I can definitely tell there are a lot of 3D moments where stuff zooming in and zooming out, but whatever. Decent movie. Another movie I watched recently was Primer. This is a classic indie type of movie, in which case, it begins out really slow. It's basically four garage guys who are kind of just techies, and they make motherboards for whatnot, and they're just kind of geeks and whatnot, and they like to do different projects. And long story short, basically it's one of the better time travel movies, in which case it has a lot of scientific jargon, but you almost kind of get a feel for like this is actually a really good practical method for time travel and how it could work. In which case, this movie is very, very good, and I highly recommend it. It is on Netflix streaming, I believe, and it's just really good. I definitely recommend if you have the time to watch this. I mean, if you're a sci-fi geek, if you like time travel movies, it's not very action-packed. It's not very, over the top. It's just a very good, solid movie, and it's amazing how this is an independent movie and how really good it is. So definitely give Primer a watch if you haven't already or have heard about it. I definitely recommend it. So that's saying something. Moving on here. Another movie that a lot of people have talked about recently is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. In which case, this is, of course, from the series of popular books that I have never read or will read, but a bunch of people I was hanging out with had been talking about it. And this, of course, I believe is a Swedish film. This is a Swedish version. Apparently, they're making an American version for it, which, whatever. I don't know. This movie was well and good enough by itself. They don't need to make an American version of it, but I guess that's just, the world as it is, Hollywood as it is. But this movie is very good, kind of dark at some respects and, kind of graphic at some other respects. But it's basically, a classic, girl disappears, they figure out, either trying to figure out where she went to, it's been 40 years later, kind of a murder she wrote, kind of almost Clue, esque type of movie, a murder mystery to a point. And it's really good. I really kind of enjoyed it. So I really recommend, if you've heard about it, I think it might be up for Netflix streaming too. I think a lot of this stuff is up for Netflix streaming. Definitely give The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo a watch. I enjoyed it, and you may too, but it's a good movie. It's a decent movie. Definitely better than Clash of the Titans, and just as good as Primer, if I had to give those things. Not as good as Scott Pilgrim, because of course Scott Pilgrim right now is the best thing in the world. Moving on here, I do want to mention some gaming stuff. So if you're not into gaming stuff, go ahead and stop watching the video. But basically, PAX is happening, in which case, ta-da! Duke Nukem Forever was basically shown at PAX. Basically, Duke Nukem Forever was kind of canned, I believe, last year, in which case they released a bunch of information about it, level designs and plot developments of how the game would have been, in which case I ate all that stuff up to learn all I could. But apparently now the game is happening. It's going to come out in 2011, and a lot of people are excited and jazzed about it, and like, yay, Duke Nukem's coming back. So that's kind of cool. Another first-person shooter. This is kind of our more nostalgic first-person shooter, in which case a lot of people are excited about it. I'm actually looking forward to it. There are not that many games in 2011 that I'm looking forward to, and this is maybe kind of one of them now. And speaking about 2011 and games coming up, I do want to mention the GameFly queue. Basically, we've been going through the drought as of sorts, and right now they ship me Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, which is kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. The thing about Kingdom Hearts 2 for the PSP is basically, if I don't enjoy that game for the PSP, that's really kind of a death knell for the PSP for me. If they can't pull off good gaming for the Kingdom Hearts, like if it doesn't translate well because it doesn't have two sticks and whatnot, then I'm going to give up on the PSP. It's not a gaming platform anymore, and that's just how it is. Because I did enjoy Metal Gear, but Kingdom Hearts coming out soon, so which is cool. I did beat Sun Mafia back. I have a review up for that. Next coming up is going to be Halo Reach, and then I have to choose in between Front Mission Evolved and Dead Rising because they come out the same. Also, Hawks comes out, I believe, that same week too, in which case I'm going to get rid of Front Mission Evolved. But Dead Rising, which I do want to mention, Dead Rising Case Zero is up for an Xbox Live and whatnot. It's $5. It's kind of like a prologue, if you will, and I've been playing the hell out of that. Really enjoying Dead Rising 2 Case Zero. It did cost money, but the cool thing is it's 2 hours and you have a lot of replay value, in which case I've probably gone through it 5 times now. But basically all your experience that you get from the prologue, if you will, translates over into the main game. So you can do all the grinding now, in which case I'm enjoying that immensely. I like it when you can carry stuff over, and I'm doing that like every now and then. I'll just boot up Dead Rising and kind of play through it and transfer the stuff over. But after Dead Rising 2, you have kind of 2 worlds, and then Fallout, and then Black Ops, Call of Duty, and then, Splatterhouse, and then nothing really until Gears of War 3. And a lot of stuff are TBA, and I'm going to be looking at the GameFly to see what's coming up, but this is once again showing that not that much coming out in 2011. As a side note, we did mention Black Ops before. A bunch of my friends were talking about it, mentioning how... sit this out. Basically talking about it looks like it's going to have a great online multiplayer, and a lot of us are debating on switching over from Modern Warfare 2 to Black Ops, because it does look like it's going to have a better multiplayer with, replays and customization and more persistent stuff and just kind of more to do on the online multiplayer front. And I feel kind of burned because I just bought 2 map packs for Modern Warfare 2, and I know they're not going to transfer over to Black Ops. And it's just, I hate to say it, I almost want to hope that all my Xbox Live, Modern Warfare 2 people move over to it. That way I can kind of stop playing the online shooters, because I've kind of not grown bored with them, but just don't feel them anymore. I got what they're supposed to do, and I just don't enjoy them as much as I used to. I don't know, maybe that's just because I have a job now and I don't have the time to do them, and I'd rather play other games, but just not feeling the Modern Warfare 2. And speaking of Xbox Live and whatnot, there was that little news to-do about Xbox Live now going to be $60 a month, and $60 a year instead of $50, which a lot of people are like, oh, rabble. But I honestly agree with it, because 8 years ago Xbox Live started and it was $50, and all the functionality they've added to it in that time frame, I see it being worth $10 more. It's $5 a month. I think it's worth it. Whatever. That's really kind of about it. I really haven't been doing much, just gaming and whatnot. I've been playing Way to Samurai 3. Want to mention that too, because I bought that cheap off of GamePlan and I enjoy that game a lot. But just kind of relaxing, waiting for the new games to come out, and just chilling. As always, I like to thank everybody for watching these and commenting if you want and whatnot. I did put up some other game reviews up, so if you click over to my game review playlist, I have some game reviews up. But other than that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.